Hello, everybody. Welcome back to week 2. This week, I decided we're going to be talking about Ted Bundy, specifically the Ted Bundy tapes on Netflix and the Ted Bundy biopic, also on Netflix, called Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile with Zac Efron. Big fan. I decided that I definitely wanted to do a video talking about both of these because back in March when I watched the Ted Bundy tapes for the first time, that actually gave me the idea to make a YouTube channel. So let's just get right into it. The Ted Bundy tapes released on Netflix early this year, in the winter, January or February. I watched them in March. I think they were extremely educational for somebody that had heard the name Ted Bundy, but didn't know too much into his story, which is me. I knew who Ted Bundy was. I knew he was an extremely horrible person, and all of the things he did were super horrible. But I just didn't know the full story, so I decided to watch them. Documentaries definitely aren't my thing, but this seemed super interesting. So, the Ted Bundy tapes, basically, there were, I think, 5 episodes or something like that. They basically told the story of him and all the crimes he committed. They followed his trial in the last few episodes. I learned when I was watching them that he ended up firing his first lawyer, his first defense attorney, and representing himself because he had been going to school to become an attorney at the time of when he started murdering all the women. So, yep, it tells his story, goes through his trial. There's actual video and audio footage, which is also really cool to see and hear. So that's really educational. If you're into documentaries and you're into true crime and murder stories like that, and you have not watched it, I would highly recommend checking it out. Next, the biopic that they made, the major motion picture biography about him. I was a huge fan of it. I have been a huge fan of Zac Efron since I was a little girl, obviously, High School Musical. So that released in May, and I was super excited for it to come out. So I watched it May 3rd, right when it came out. I recently found out that it was based on his long-term girlfriend at the time novel that she wrote about him after he was executed. What was it called? The Phantom Prince, My Life with Ted Bundy. Her name's Elizabeth Kendall. She wrote the book, and it was just telling her story about while they were together and when she learned what he had been doing while they were together and how she was coping with life throughout the trial. I can only imagine. It was awful. So throughout the movie, it was basically her point of view. And then once he was arrested and then on trial, basically the rest of the movie, it showed in detail how she was coping once she realized all of the horrendous things that he had done, and once all of those things became public, so people knew what he had done and also knew that she was with him at the time. I'm sure there was some backlash about, oh, well, maybe she knew about it. I don't think that's the case. And then I also found out there's some facts at the end of the biopic talking about things he did. We found out that days before his execution, he confessed to over 30 murders, and his all the lawyers and people involved believed that there was many more than 30. And then he requested that his remains be scattered in the Cascade Mountains, where he also had dumped remains of some of his victims. So that's pretty messed up. And, oh, this was a big thing for me. So, like I said, I really love Zac Efron, and when I found out that they were casting him to play Ted Bundy, I was super excited. When that was released, there was a whole bunch of backlash on social media about it. Why would they pick somebody so good looking to play such a monster? Why would they pick a Disney star to play that type of role? All kinds of stuff. I think that's complete bull. He's a great actor. He's been in more roles, more serious roles as he's been older. He's not just a Disney star. And then I also found out that he not only played the role of Ted Bundy, but he was the executive producer for the movie. So he's a super successful person in his career. I just don't think, I'm not sure where all the backlash came from, but I definitely don't agree with it. I think that he did an amazing job. Ted Bundy was an actual charismatic man, a really good-looking man. How do you think that he was able to get away with kidnapping all these women and luring all these women? Because he was so charming and so good-looking, none of these women thought anything bad was going to happen getting involved with him. So props to the creators of the movie and the casters for picking him. I think he did a great job. I think the movie was very well done. If you have not watched that or the Ted Bundy tapes, like I said, I definitely recommend checking them out. The Ted Bundy tapes are super educational. The movie is less educational, more the story from his girlfriend's point of view. Lily Collins played Elizabeth Kendall in the movie, and I think she did a great job. And then Kaya Scodelario played Carol Ann Boone in the movie. Carol Ann Boone was the woman that Ted got involved with in the middle of the trial after Elizabeth left him, and they ended up getting married. He proposed to her while she was on the stand during trial. So he married her, and that was his wife when he was executed. She believed that he was completely innocent, and was completely fooled by him. So definitely check it out. Super educational and very entertaining. Very well done. So yeah, if you haven't seen either of them, I recommend giving them a watch. They're both on Netflix. They're both Netflix originals. Very easy to find. So go check them out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video.